We have a big shift upcoming in the form of Wall Street 2.0 that's going to take effect relatively soon. And this all stems from the RWA space, real world assets, which is pretty much inarguably the hottest sector within cryptocurrency. We've been talking about this. That's been our stance for months, if not over a year at that point. And it's not going to change anytime soon, actually. That's something that is pretty much written in stone as far as my opinion, our opinion at Altcoin Buzz. I can pretty much double down, triple down, quadruple down on that right now. And of course, one of the stars in this sector, in RWA, is Ondo Finance. It's a project that has now reflected an ROI of 38x. That is to say, it's gone up 38 times since only January 2024, 13 months. And yesterday was a big deal for the project because Ondo had its very first ever Ondo Summit, which took place in New York City. Donald Trump Jr. was actually one of the speakers yesterday. And as you probably know, President Trump's World Liberty Financial, WLFI project, they also bought more Ondo, more ONDO. There was also other news, of course, and the major announcement that Ondo launched its own Layer 1. And all of this is in the context of BlackRock being a major fan of not only the space, RWAs, but in this project Ondo as well. So we're going to take a long overdue look at Ondo, everything that this project is going right, and look at some of the gems in its ecosystem that you probably ought to have on your crypto and altcoin radar. Welcome to the channel. My name is Matty, and this is Altcoin Buzz. Whether it's Ondo Finance, RWAs, or other altcoins, if you're in this space, if you're involved in crypto, I wish you very, very well if you choose to invest. Just remember that I'm not a financial or investment advisor, and that means that by extension, this video is not official financial or investment advice. Okay, so like I said, Ondo really is one of the hottest projects in the RWA space, which is the hottest sector within cryptocurrency. Just for context, I kind of wanted to find this project, and then we'll dive deeper into its ecosystem, and I'll shine a light at some of those altcoin gems right now that are under the Ondo umbrella. So Ondo as a project deserves to be getting the attention that it's been getting. Multiple reasons for that. Just some recent examples here. There's number one, a Binance listing. Those rumors are pretty strong right now, and it's pretty much a law of nature, right? A Binance listing means a significant boost for any token. And this got a lot of publicity yesterday when it happened. Like I said a moment ago, one of the surprise speakers that was kind of unadvertised was Donald Trump Jr. So pretty high profile. Also, we know that President Trump's WLFI has already invested $250,000 into ONDO. Yesterday, they added another $4.7 million worth of Ondo, and that brings their total ONDO investment to $5 million. Plus, Ondo also launched its own Layer 1 chain, and this one caters specifically to institutional-grade real-world assets. Ondo only works with regulated assets. However, it also felt that regular chains lacked the necessary features for their regulated assets. So it's a mix of public and permission blockchains. Ondo also works together with BlackRock's BUIDL fund, that's BUIDL. Circle's USDC is also part of the fund. However, this is aimed at institutions, right? Don't forget. BUIDL requires a minimum investment of $5 million. So it's kind of for the bigger fish out there. However, using Ondo's OUSG stablecoin, that minimum investment becomes only $100,000. OUSG stands for Ondo Short-Term U.S. Government Treasuries, which means that these are, in fact, tokenized U.S. Treasuries. Ondo also recently introduced their global markets platform. This is an RWA tokenization platform that gives on-chain access to traditional financial instruments, so stocks, bonds, and ETFs, exchange-traded funds. This, unfortunately, is not available in the United States. And their OUSG stablecoin is now available on the XRP ledger, which means that it gives institutional investors on XRPL access to a tokenized high-quality U.S. Treasuries fund. Now, this does require KYC and AML, that's Know Your Customer and anti-money laundering. However, it allows them access to a secure, compliant, and also, as a nice bonus, a yield-earning asset. Ondo, however, also caters to both retail and institutions with their USDY stablecoin, and they advertise this as the, quote, world's leading permissionless yield coin. However, USDY, again, unfortunately, is not available in the United States. So a little bit now in the future, as we see it for Ondo Finance, because really they have everything to become the premier superstar in the RWA space as a project. Just take a look at who's already taking part in the Ondo ecosystem. So we have, for example, service providers like BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, Chainlink, Pith, and Supra. Plus lots of additional partners like Franklin Templeton, WisdomTree, ABM, Anro, PayPal, AON, and as you can see, a lot more. In fact, Ondo already has 96 partners as of this recording, some of which are actually very, very high profile. ONDO right now is up 9% on the day as I record. They're closing in on their previous all-time high, sitting right now at $1.46, as you can see. It looks like, I would argue, that this is kind of the beginning of what Ondo and the ONDO token are capable of. There is kind of the expectation right now built in, especially after yesterday's announcements and conference, that we could see a pretty sudden uptick relatively soon. Some are calling for a $30 ONDO price. I won't say that just yet, but there's just so much potential in this space. And here's a project that is doing everything right and is positioned really, really, really well to take advantage of the opportunities effectively. Let's now consider 3 other RWA gems that the Altcoin Buzz team is pretty excited about, beginning with Polytrade, ticker TRADE, TRADE, which boasts the largest RWA marketplace, actually. This project brings together buyers, sellers, insurers, and investors. And by using this marketplace, these parties can trade in tokenized assets. So for example, in real estate, also things like collectibles, treasuries, equities, bonds, and other classes as well. One of their upcoming options is actually for car loans, because there is a demand for that. Polytrade aims for retail, but their Polytrade V2 aims more specifically and more precisely at institutions. There's also a loyalty program where you can earn experience points, XP, by trading or being active on social media for Polytrade. The current price of TRADE, TRADE, is up pretty nicely, up 16% on the day. We're still at a good entry, though, of, as you can see here, just under 40 cents, 39.5 cents as I record. The market cap right now sits below $17 million, and as you can see, we are well below the all-time high. Next up is a project that's been getting a lot of attention very, very recently, and it's Plume, which saw the Plume token, Plume, launch only a few weeks ago on the 22nd of January. However, that being said, it's already got a pretty significant market cap of over 220 million, and 2 billion of its 10 billion tokens are in circulation right now. Plume focuses on, among other things, tokenized real estate, commodities, and revenue streams. You can trade or finance these assets, or if you want, you can also use them as collateral, and that introduces real-life DeFi use cases to Plume. That means it caters to both retail as well as institutions. And Plume has a lot of potential because it really does bridge TradFi with Web3 by being compliant, transparent, and interoperable. And it already offers $4.5 billion in assets to be tokenized. And last but not least here, we're looking at TrueFi, ticker TRU, TRU, which is bringing the debt infrastructure on-chain. Let me elaborate. That's a big deal. This is a project that offers uncollateralized lending. And it can offer this because TrueFi uses on-chain credit scores to assess borrowers. You can also lend to independently managed vaults. One of its backers, for example, is Andreessen Horowitz. And TrueFi has already been around for a few years, since January of 2021, so 4 years now. One of its vaults even offers, for example, short-term US Treasury bill yields. However, kind of ironically, this is only available to non-US investors. The price of TRU sits right now at 4.3 cents. All tokens are in circulation, which is great to see. And we have a market cap right now of $55.5 million. So still very, very small, relatively speaking, with lots of growth potential.
All right, so for some Ondo TA right now, we are stuck between 2 levels, currently at about $1 and $1.50 right now. Ondo is one of the stronger coins, and it definitely has a much better narrative than a lot of altcoins. So it does have that going for it. Now, we just did have an Ondo Summit on February 6th, which was yesterday. And usually going into events like that, there's a sell-off. It's kind of like everyone gets hyped beforehand and buys, and then there's a sell-off on the day of. But I will say there was a wick and a huge liquidation event in crypto in general on the 3rd. So this sell-off might have been that, summit sell-off we were expecting, and we could be heading higher right now. So what I want to see for Ondo is I want to see us break through this level of resistance at $1.50, come above, and then reclaim it to go higher. That's a signal that I would be looking to, either take a long or buy more spot because it is going to go higher. But likewise, we could very well be doing an underside retest and where this, it comes up into resistance here and then actually comes down back to this level of support at $1. This is where I would love to pick up more Ondo right here as it accumulates and then goes higher. Now, I will say Ondo being one of the stronger, coins this cycle, and especially having ties to the president, having ties to BlackRock, Securitize, and Paul Atkins of the SEC now, it is one of the better narratives, especially with RWA and having, real value. So I will say Ondo is one of the stronger coins. So maybe if you are looking to pick up more spot, you can buy more if we come on down on a dip here, if, Bitcoin dips lower. So save some ammo for here. But likewise, if we do come above here, it is a good place to buy some. You're only buying a couple % higher than you are right now, but then you're guaranteed to have a better entry and you know that it's not going to just instantly nuke back down. Because we have reclaimed this major level here as support at around $1.52 to $1.56. So that's what I'm looking for Ondo in the future, and I do think this is going to be one of the stronger coins. I do see us probably going to $3 this cycle at least. So Ondo is looking pretty good right now.